guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showing you guys how I achieved this fall inspired look with the face being all matte, which is not usually my norm. I'm like obsessed with highlighters, so this was different for me to do, but I love the way it turned out. I'll be using some new products as well in this tutorial and explaining them as I go. So yeah, if you guys are interested on how I got this look, then please keep on watching. Alright guys, so we're starting off with eyebrows. I'm using my Nika K eyebrow pencil from the beauty supply store, and I'm just filling in my brows because I haven't done it in a while on camera. So I'm going to fill them in and then just conceal them so you guys can just see how I do it. I'm using my Fenty Beauty foundation in the shade 370 and mixing it with my Tarte Shape Tape concealer so that I can clean up the brows. So I just used that remaining mixture on the back of my hand to put on my eyelids, which is going to serve as a primer. And the first shade I'm going in with is Orb in the Morphe 3502 palette, just to start as a transition shade. Now the second color I'm going in with is the color Risky, and I'm using this just to build up that transition, to blend out those colors nicely, and I'm just going to keep building from here. So I'm further deepening my crease, and now I'm using the color Chestnut and a blending brush that's a little bit smaller just to really get in the crease area. I have to say I really appreciate Morphe putting names to their eyeshadows with this palette, because before it was just giving like I would have to talk about the color as a description. Now I have an actual name I can refer it to, so good job Morphe. So now using my Tarte Shape Tape concealer, and I'm also going to be using my MAC Pro Longwear concealer and a flat synthetic brush, and this is going to be to cut my crease. I decided to grab the matte concealer too because Nikki Tutorials, she uses this to do her cut crease looks, and I'm really trying to perfect my cut crease and practice different techniques. So I'm using it here, and I really liked how it helped with the cut crease effect. And if you didn't know this already, I have a visitor on my nose. I'm recovering from a disgusting pimple that I had, so please just excuse the appearance of my nose. So I got a little frustrated because I realized that I made the creases a bit uneven. My left eye has like the crease or the concealer going up into the crease a little bit more. So I'm just going to be fixing and tweaking it during this little segment here. Alright, so now I'm using the shade Terracotta in the palette, and I'm going to begin to pack that on the lid. but I'm not bringing it all the way to the top of the crease where the concealer is placed. I'm going to leave space for that to apply a different eyeshadow there. I'm just trying to create, well, I was really just going with the flow of it. I was trying to do something different with the cut crease. So that's why I didn't bring the shadow all the way to the top of the crease. So now using the shade Zodiac, I'm going to begin to fill in with that color, like the empty areas. So I brought it in the inner corner, and then I'm going to be using that color to fill in the top that's remaining, that's like blank with the concealer, if you guys understand what I'm saying. But I'm showing you here, so yeah. So y'all, I was definitely feeling myself here for being a little crafty and trying something different. You know, I was low-key hype. So I'm using an angle brush now, and I'm grabbing the color Toast, and I'm gonna use that to create just like a wing with eyeshadow, and I'm using that color first to start on the outer corner of the eye. So now I'm going to deepen the outer corner, and now I'm using the color Muddy with a brush that's not angled. It's just a small blending brush, and I'm just going to fill in with that color too on the outer corner of the eye. Here I'm using just a makeup wipe to help really clean up the outer corner, and it's gonna help me clean up to create like the really sharp angled effect that you see. Okay, so now I'm doing a little bit of color correcting because I got tired of looking at my pimple on my nose. But I'm putting some LA Girl Pro Concealer, the color corrector shade, the orange one, under the eyes and on my nose, which I do end up reapplying a little bit later, but I just started doing it here too. And now I'm going to be applying my lashes. These are by Coco Lashes, and the style is Fifth Ave. So while I was applying my lashes, I felt like I lost a little bit of the color, and also because the lashes are kind of big, you couldn't really see the angled effect. So I decided to use my Morphe eyeliner, the gel eyeliner in the color Slate, I believe it's called, just to throw some color back onto the lid. And now moving on to the face, I'm priming because I forgot to do that before doing the color corrector. So I went ahead and added the color corrector back. And now for foundation, I'm using the Fenty Beauty foundation in the shade 370. So I want to give you guys a little update on my Fenty Beauty foundation. I've changed the color several times. I can't seem to get the color correct. I don't know at this point. I feel like my skin may be too dry for this foundation because it dries so super matte. For this look, it was perfect because I was trying to do like an all matte face, but it dries super matte. It dries really quickly. I was blending forever here. So I really love the product because of the variety of shades and things like that. And I think it was a great job as far as being put together. But my number one foundation still is my NARS All Day Luminous. So I just wanted to throw that in as like a little mini update of how I'm feeling about the foundation now. So here I'm doing my regular highlighting. I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the color Tan Sand, and I'm using a Real Techniques beauty sponge, which I actually just repurchased. I had been using the Morphe beauty sponge for a while, but I kind of felt like it was ripping quickly. I don't know if anybody was having the same problems, but I feel like mine was like ripping like so quickly after I bought it. So I went back to the Real Techniques. And for my contour color, I'm using the Black Opal Foundation Stick in the color Hazelnut. So for this look, I'm not even really going to bake that long. I'm just using a brush to lightly apply some setting powder because you guys know the Shape Tape dries very matte and my face is already super matte. So moving on to the lower lash line, I'm using the color So Warm and a pencil brush to bring some color to the bottom and start to just brush that along the lower lash line. And now I'm using the color Terracotta to bring that towards the inner corner of the lower lash line and just create some smoky effect. Lastly, I'm using the color Brick, and that's going to be completely like in the inner corners of the lower lash line. So keeping the look matte, I'm using a blush by Nika K Cosmetics, which is a blush duo I got from the beauty supply store. I'm not sure of the name of the colors, but if I can find it, I'll make sure to put it in the description box. And I'm just contouring my cheeks a little bit because I think I kind of missed that part to go over with powder. So I was just doing that just to make it a little bit deeper. And I put some mascara on the lower lashes. For lips, I'm using Dose of Colors liquid lipstick in the shade Knock on Wood. And for lip liner, I used one of NYX's suede lip liners, and the color will be in the description box. I finally got my hands on this Morphe setting spray. I'm so happy. I'm using this to set my face and it smells so good. It was out of stock for forever. So after spraying my face, this is the completed look. I hope you guys really like the way that this came out because I do. The Morphe 3502 palette is beautiful. Very similar to the first one, the 350, but it does have its differences. And the pigmentation I feel is way better in this palette. So definitely pick that up if you guys are interested. And I will see you guys in my next tutorial.